So let's take a look at how eTail handles dropshipping. There's actually two different ways that we go about this. One is when we're dealing with orders that have come into the system through any one of the different sales channels it's kind of manual. It's a non-integrated supplier. So in that scenario, the orders come in, the user is going to walk through kind of a wizard approach and actually generate the dropship orders and get those over to the supplier via one of a few different methods. The other scenario we're going to take a look at is when the supplier is actually fully integrated. So we can do 100% hands-off dropshipping, meaning the system takes care of everything. It's all automated and the user just simply has to deal with the exceptions. So if we look at the screen here, what we're going to see is we've got a number of different sales channels. All of those sales channels ideally are bringing orders into the system. The drop shipping mechanisms don't care where the order came from, so we're just going to pull it in. The items are flagged as being drop ship for a fulfillment type, and now we need to do something with it. So the first scenario, let's just take a look at what an automated supplier looks like, or an integrated supplier looks like, and how we handle those. This is an example of a customer environment where this customer is 100% automated and they're only a drop shipper. They don't ever touch any inventory. So the orders are coming into the system from many different channels. Looks like they're running Amazon, Amazon Canada, and eBay here. And every single order that comes into the system immediately has a drop ship purchase order generated and transmitted over to the supplier through the integration that we have. So in this scenario, we should never see a hold code in the system that would say dropship order, because that implies that the user needs to do something. They go right past that and into the hold code that's called dropship confirm, which essentially means we've already sent the PO over to the supplier. Matter of fact, you can see it here as I click on different orders. We've got the order here in the system. This is the item that was ordered, and then down here you can see the purchase order has already been generated and sent over to the supplier. At this point, we're just waiting for that confirmation, the tracking information, to come back from the supplier, so that we can load that back out to the sales channel. So in this scenario, the hold codes allow you to be able to see the status of these orders, but really the user doesn't have to do a whole lot. And we can see that a little bit further if I go into the supplier module here and I just click on a PO, and we'll just take a look at it real quick. You can see here's the order, this is the item that's ordered, here's the sales order that it's associated with, and this has already been sent out to the supplier. So that's one of the scenarios where it's a fully integrated supplier. Usually we can work with text files or delimited files of any sort. We have a fully functional EDI subsystem if that's the preferred method of your supplier, or some of the more advanced suppliers we can work with XML interfaces as well, or via web services. All sorts of different options. We just prefer that a human not be in the middle of those. So that's automated. Now let's go take a look at a more of a manual dropship scenario. So we all, many merchants anyway, are going to have some suppliers that have the capabilities of being automated and some suppliers that do not and just need to work very manually. And so in those types of scenarios, we can still set up the items and still set up the supplier channel records for those items so you can purchase from those suppliers, but it's going to be a bit more of a manual process. So I've got another environment over here, and we can see all of the different orders that are coming into the system and with various statuses. If I click on the dropship order hold code, now this will isolate just these are the orders that need to have a purchase order generated for them. So we can see them here, but to actually generate them, we've got a special screen that we've built for drop shipping. And I'm going to pull this open and I can select any of these orders that I need to. I can just do a select all if I want, or I can select individual orders. I'm going to plan them. So the system's going to go through and select which supplier these should be purchased on based upon any number of different criteria or business rules that we set. And once I do that, then it's just a matter of creating dropship orders, and the system's going to go through and actually generate those purchase orders. So I'll close this screen and we can go and take a look and just see the POs that are generated. You can see here's all of the POs that the system automatically created. Now in terms of delivering these POs, we've got a number of different options. We can set up a job that's going to email them automatically once you create them. We can set up a file, so maybe the supplier doesn't have the ability to be fully automated, but maybe they can import your orders. We can drop that file off on an FTP server or any number of different options for you. It's going to be a little bit supplier specific in terms of how they do that. And then when the orders come in, it's just a simple matter of selecting the orders and either manually entering that tracking information, or even better, if they can give you some sort of a file that'll give you tracking information, just your purchase order number and the tracking information, we can bring that into the system as well and kind of save you some of that work. Once we have the tracking information, then we're going to automatically upload that to the sales channel to flag that it's been fulfilled. Now the last thing on that is, ideally when you're talking to your suppliers, you also want to try and get them to give you your shipping costs, or if that's a known amount on a per order basis, if there's a shipping and handling fee or a drop ship fee, we can set that up in the system, because ultimately we want to be able to come back into the system and be able to see information in the data warehouse. For example, if I come into this existing supplier or a merchant who's got an integrated supplier, I may want to come in and see profitability by supplier, and I can only do that as long as I capture all those fees. And so this is, potentially what that can look like when you're drilling around and seeing profitability by supplier. So that's dropshipping. If you have any questions, please give us a call. We'd love to chat with you. Thanks much.